Stewart Davison, Middlesex's player pathway manager for the EPG. Thanks for having us up here at the academy. You've got the lads in tonight. Stu, you obviously joined us about 6 or 7 months ago, I think I'm right in saying, from Berkshire, where you were player pathway manager. How's the last 6 months been?
It's been brilliant, so much fun. It's so fortunate to work amongst so many experienced and very passionate people. Came in from Berkshire, having worked with a lot of the players that are actually in this room now, so fortunate to have that crossover. Difference is really mainly being the size of the pathway. It's so well connected all the way down from clubs into borough cricket, regional cricket. But yeah, I've absolutely loved it. Plenty of challenges. First winter, so there's a lot going on at the moment, but absolutely loved it.
Stu, we've had that partnership with Berkshire in place for about 6 years now, and it's reaped some fantastic rewards. I think the first player to come over from Berkshire was Martin Anderson, followed by Jack Davies, and more recently Toby Greatwood. It's not just a one-way street though, is it? It's very much a two-way street, because the likes of Savin Pereira have gone back and is now playing regularly for Berkshire, and I think I'm right in saying Doddy also played this year for Berkshire in the national final.
Yeah, he did. I think he made a match-winning contribution in the championship final, so great to see that happen. Very much a two-way street, so actually it wants to be a partnership as much as possible, and we were the beneficiaries of that with Berkshire because it gave our young cricketers a clear line into first-class cricket, many of them onto the EPG and then onto the professional staff, Martin Anderson, Jack Davies, Toby Greatwood, all of those lads. But then equally it's really nice when you've lost those cricketers to be able to offer a pathway back into, to continue to play at a really high standard. So Sav Pereira had a fantastic year, many hundreds this year. Archie Carter, another one that's playing regularly in the first team. Plenty of other second team opportunities, people like Ewan Woods, Andy Rishton. So we really do think it's an integrated partnership. And there's a huge amount of communication that goes on about young players. And then equally the sharing of fixtures. So at Merchant Taylor's through the summer, there are a huge amount of games that we play, part of our talent ID process. So it really is a very well-run and well-structured partnership.
Coming the other way, you've obviously got 5 players. I think Mark Lane, who I've just interviewed, told me you've got 17 players on the EPG group this year. 5 of those players come through that Berkshire partnership. You've obviously mentioned you worked with them before. How rewarding is it for you, I guess, to now be working for a first-class county and seeing those youngsters coming into a professional side?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see them continue their journey. There are differences in terms of what Berkshire and Middlesex can offer. And it's so rewarding to come back into an environment where you see them 2 or 3 years down the line and actually seeing how much progress they've made under the tutelage of Laney and the other coaches. So it's great, it's really rewarding. Hopefully there are a few more names up on that board up there.
Absolutely, wouldn't that be nice? And Mark Lane, obviously, working alongside Laney. What's that like as a relationship, and who takes on what mantras and responsibilities?
Sure, so I'm player pathway manager, Laney pathway head coach. Laney's passion experience as a coach is second to none. It's been such an experience working with him. His energy, the number of ideas that he brings, and actually my job is sometimes to refine some of those ideas. It's been absolutely brilliant. We're never off the phone to each other. And I think one of the real strengths with Middlesex is how connected it is from the bottom all the way through to the top. So was lucky enough to do a few second team games with Laney this summer, but then the next day we're at under 11. So it's been brilliant. We're never out of each other's pockets.
Good to hear. I can see in the background you've got Vish Kanji, one of our physios who works with the pro squad, also working with the youngsters over there. You've got Vish in over the winter. What's he got in store for the lads, and you yourself personally, what will you be putting the lads through over the next few months?
Sure. Well, we've got a really, really good support staff. So in terms of our regional head coaches, our skill set leads, our support staff, so Vish and Flem, in terms of their S&C and the physio. It's really important for these young lads to have an experience of what a professional pathway looks like, and actually the piece around the physical education and trying to teach them good habits that they'll be able to take into their professional career. It's really, really important. We're very, very fortunate, not just those guys that are contractors or full-time staff, but actually all the volunteers all the way through the pathway. So Peter Lowry's been going over 40 years with our under-13s. We've got a really, really committed bunch of managers, coaches, support staff all the way through. So very fortunate. It's a hugely important part of our programme. So
Absolutely. Stuart, you talk about commitment. Obviously, you've got a huge amount, as you said, from the coaches and the support staff around you. You need a hell of a lot of commitment from the youngsters sitting in this room that work hard all winter. Obviously, they're chasing a dream. Many of them come from far and wide. What kind of commitment do you need from them as a bare minimum in terms of putting themselves through the EPG programme?
Sure. Well, we understand that they have to be multi-aspirational. Like we're very keen on saying that cricket might be their first job. It definitely won't be their last. So they've got to pursue the academic stuff, and it's working out what their individual journey looks like. So some of them are more academic than others, and actually our job is to support them wherever we can. So there are times like now when there are mock exams going on where we won't see the lads, and we want them to concentrate on that and that academic side. Equally, there are times when it does really dial up and they've got 2 or 3 weeks where they're clear schedules and they're in almost every day. So we have 5 sessions a week. The lads can access a maximum of 21 hours a week, which is a huge amount of time. We don't expect anyone to do that. We say our expectation is 3 sessions a week. Some of the lads have been in 70, 80 hours already this winter. So it's a very flexible programme. The beauty of having 5 sessions is that they can pick and choose what they can access. And our job is to try and mould their environment, their support to them individually.
Brilliant, Stu. Well, look, thanks ever so much for your time. Sounds like you've got a heck of a lot going on. We'll make sure we're coming up regularly over the winter months. We'll be up in the new year, find out how it's all going, and thanks again for your time.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.